Hello, welcome to Dungeon Journals podcast. I'm your host Justin. So I'm put in this position where I was being kind of lazy, and now I have to do 3 reviews in a row. So hopefully that doesn't affect the quality. And fun fact about this movie I'm about to review called Jiu Jitsu. Jitsu 2020, which is an action fantasy movie. It's an hour and 42 minutes. I remember did a trailer reaction to this movie when it first came out, when the trailer first came out, and it said in the trailer that there was supposed to be a theatrical release. This was when the pandemic and the lockdowns were in full swing. So I think even at the start. So I'm this movie is not gonna get a huge it's not gonna get put in theaters. Apparently it was in theaters, and it made 90 grand when it had a $25 million budget. Which is holy shit, how did this movie have a $25 million budget? It is a complete loss to me, because watching this movie, I thought it was it came off, even the trailer came off straight to DVD garbage, which is why it had a lot of straight to DVD action stars like Alain Moussi, Frank Grillo, and Tony Jaa. Even though I think he in the East, a lot of the movies he's in do get theatrical releases, but over here not so much. So the movie stars Alain Moussi as Jake Barnes, and he's from the more recent Kickboxer movies, which are also directed by the same guy who directed this movie, which is Dimitri Logothetis. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think he's Greek. Yeah, he's a Greek director. He did Kickboxer Retaliation 2018 and Kickboxer Vengeance, which I haven't seen any of those movies. And apparently there's going to be a Kickboxer Armageddon. I haven't seen that. The movie also has Tony Jaa as Kyung, Frank Grillo as Hardigan, Juju Chan as Carmen, Nicolas Cage as Wiley, who's in the movie more than I thought he would be. But that's not entirely a big shocker, right? And you got Marie Agripolis as Myra. Also, you have the one guy, the African American fellow from My Name is Earl, who's the comedic relief, and Rick Yune is also in the movie, right? So the movie is about this guy, Alain Moussi's character, Jake Barnes, who you see in the movie running away from some kind of I'll just say it's the alien throwing ninja stars at him. The alien who, when I saw the thumbnail for the trailer, I thought, oh, this is going to be a Dark Souls movie. Because the alien looked very Dark Souls like. Not so much in the movie. He's basically, the alien in this movie is basically a Predator ripoff, but if Predator was really into martial arts, which I'll get into the backstory about the alien later on. But yeah, he's running away from this monster throwing ninja stars at him, falls into a lake or the river or something, and cracks his skull against a rock, gets saved by Nicolas Cage and these two, this elderly couple in Burma, which the movie takes place in Burma. I don't know if it was actually shot in Burma, but according to here, the initial release was in Vietnam, so that maybe it was shot in Vietnam. I don't know, right? So yeah, the wife stitches Alain Moussi up and takes him to the American base where special forces are there to secure plutonium in some Buddhist temple, which plays on later in the movie. And he's getting interrogated by this chick named Myra. He lost his memories and doesn't know who he is. And there's some comedic relief with the My Name is Earl guy, where he's supposed to be the Burmese translator, but his Burmese sucks. So there's a bunch of scenes where he's supposed to be translating for his officer, and he's just getting things like completely wrong, right? Which I thought was funny. Yeah, he gets rescued by Tony Jaa, and there's these action scenes where they're pretty cool, but there's like slow-mo Zack Snyder bullshit, and then there are points in that fight scene where they're fighting all the American soldiers hand to hand, and like it'll like go to Jake Barnes' character, which is Alain Moussi, and it'll be like first person, like the camera will take a first perspective, and it was like watching a shittier version of Hardcore Henry, and then the camera will sometimes stay back, and like Jake Barnes will be in front of the camera. So it was like really weird. Like why do you randomly have like a first person like action scene in this movie? I thought that was weird. Yeah, he gets taken back to his friends, meets up with the other guys, meets up with Nicolas Cage's character. Nicolas Cage, explains to them that his job, he's part of this order of warriors who every 6 years there's a comet and there's like a portal opens up in this temple where 9 fighters from this order of warriors have to fight this alien, right? And you find out later on in the movie that Jake Barnes was supposed to fight this alien but ran away, and he's like a coward. Which Wiley's character, which is Nicolas Cage, was part of this group, of warriors. But 6 years ago, he also did something cowardly and like ran away from a fight, right? So like Nicolas Cage trains him and gives him advice so he can be a better warrior and like stand up and fight, because like it doesn't matter if the 9 warriors win. All they have to do is fight the alien, and the alien will go away. If they don't fight the alien, the alien will kill everybody on the planet with its martial arts and its like advanced healing factor, which is completely bullshit and unfair, by the way. Like, oh my god. So like, the movie, basically our main character has to learn to man up and like face his fears, right? And to redeem himself. And like there's also a cool sword fight with Nicolas Cage character versus the alien. Though it was very one-sided, and like Nicolas, he got a few shots in, but like could they not have like Nicolas Cage character like expose like a weak point or something? Because like it was like Rick Yune that found out the weak point, right? And he was like kind of a random character. Like he was like one of the special forces guys who knows about the alien for some reason. Also, it turns out the Jiu Jitsu, which is the movie's called Jiu Jitsu because all the warriors know Jiu Jitsu, right? Because the Jiu Jitsu founder was actually these race of aliens that taught our like the founders of their temple Jiu Jitsu so they can fight them every 6 years, right? And this has been going on for 2,000 years. And alien will show up, and 9 people will have to fight the monster, fight the alien warrior with like jujutsu and weapons and stuff. Like some of the characters have like like Tony Jaa character has tone fuzz, which look it up. You have Juju Chan who has like these like explosive arrows that she shoots from like her wrist, which from the side, by the way. Frank Grillo uses like who's also one of the warriors in the movie, uses he uses like a 2 knife style or 2 dagger style, which his character is kind of wasted and he dies in kind of like a dumb way. I don't know, Frank Grillo is one of those guys where like when I first saw him in like this TV show, like miniseries, I forget what it's called. It had John Leguizamo in it, and they were like robbers. I thought that guy was gonna go places, but yeah, he hasn't been like he's been doing like straight to DVD action movies, and like it's the thing where like this guy, I wanted him to be the the Punisher, and they got like the guy from Walking Dead, which is like, oh my god, he doesn't even look like Frank Grillo could pass as the Punisher, but that other dude, oh my god, like he was great as Shane or whatever from Walking Dead, but god damn it, was it Shane? I can't remember, but yeah, he was like not too great in the movie. Overall, I think the movie, aside from the fact that it's kind of a Mortal Kombat ripoff, which is probably why Netflix uploaded it today on their platform, because the Mortal Kombat movie is now available to watch digitally, which I am not paying $25 to watch that movie, especially since they pussied out and took out like Johnny Cage from the movie because of politics. So the new Mortal Kombat movie can go fuck itself. So I refuse to. I refuse to pay $25. I'd rather just wait 3 months and then it'll be at like a decent price. Like fuck that. But yeah, I'll eventually do Mortal Kombat. So that's why I watched this movie instead, because I'm not doing Mortal Kombat, and just like I watch for free because I have Netflix. So yeah, I think the movie also has some really shitty like comic book transitions. That is basically they took photographs of the scenes, and then they had a really shitty artist draw over them, and the comic book transitions looked fucking terrible. But I thought the music was cool. I liked some of the characters. I'm giving this movie, a 6.5 out of 10. Also, Nicolas Cage was awesome in this movie, and then like they also pulled off a Star Wars where it turns out Nicolas Cage was the father of Jake Barnes, but they kind of looks. If you look at their face, they both have like long faces and long noses, not big nose, but like long noses. So I don't know, they kind of pass as father and son, other than like the age differences. I don't think match up, but I don't mind when movies like rip off Star Wars and like the two actors kind of look similar. It's when they don't look similar at all does it feel like fucking dumb, in my opinion. Like in that stupid like Peter Jackson produced movie where all the trailers made you think he was like directing the movie, and it turns out he didn't direct it at all. Which I forget the name of that movie. It was that movie with Hugo Weaving was the bad guy, and they had it was post-apocalyptic, and then they had moving cities. Yeah, that movie sucked. So don't watch that. This movie, it's the thing where like, you know what? I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 because the fact that this movie had like a $25 million budget, but at the same time looks so cheap, made me think like, yeah, like fuck that. Like it's getting a 6 out of 10. What the fuck did they spend their money on? Like advertising? Because this movie looks like though the cinematography was great and the music was great, everything else about the movie looked cheap. So like yeah, I don't know what the fuck they spent most of their money on.